everybody, and thanks for joining us for Education 101. This is a special back-to-school edition of this program, and I'm Carol Birdsong, Communications Director for Williamson County Schools. I'm talking with two assistant superintendents. We've had some title changes, I guess. This position used to be kind of a grade level director position. Now you are our assistant superintendents. Denise Goodwin is over elementary schools, and Dr. Donna Wright over middle and high schools. Denise has been around for a long time. Donna is new to the district. So we're excited to have both of you here to talk about the things that parents need to know as we get ready for back to school time. But first of all, even though you've been around a long time, Denise, people still might be out there who are new to Williamson County who don't know you.
Right.
So let's start first of all with some background. Where are you from, how long you've been here, and I guess your experiences in education.
Sure. My background, I'm native Nashvilleian, born and raised there, but have been in Williamson County now for almost 29 years.
Wow. Okay.
My children are products of Williamson County Schools, and we are excited about that, and exciting to know that I've been a part of that as being an educator. My background is teacher, assistant principal, and now assistant superintendent for the district. I have a great passion for this county. I love it. It's my home.
And everybody knows you, especially from Oakview Elementary School.
As the former Oakview principal.
And it's
That's
so
correct.
funny, you came in here before our taping today, and you said, two of the WCTV interns are Oakview students.
That's correct. Being in a building gives you such great contact with the students, and yes, two of the young men here are former Oakview students, and it just makes me proud, and they're great kids, great young men.
Donna, welcome to Williamson County Schools.
Thank you, thank you.
We
I'm
feel
excited.
like we have snatched somebody special from
wow.
Knox County. So tell us about your background. Where are you from and how you got here and all?
Well, I guess if you look at where I'm from, I've resided in, did reside in Knoxville for 40 plus years, and been there, raised a family there, and interestingly enough, my family's migrated in this direction, so that's been part of the pull to come to Middle Tennessee. So that's an exciting change of a life as far as coming here.
You've spent most of your career in with Knox County Schools, right?
30 years.
Wow.
30 years.
Wow. And where were you in Knox County Schools?
Well, classroom teacher, Gibbs High School, which some people might be familiar with, might not, but that's where Kenny Chesney attended high school.
Oh, okay. Now, was he in your class?
2 years.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
You're already a superstar.
Yeah, that's always a point of interest. And then I taught at Powell High School. And then I went into administration. I was a high school administrator, both an assistant principal and a high school principal. And then transitioned into director of high schools for Knox County, and at the time there were 12 high schools. And then finished a position as assistant superintendent of curriculum instruction for the district.
Okay, very good. You know, we were at the Mayor Anderson gave his state of the district, or not district, state of the county address at the Chamber of Commerce meeting, and you got to meet him.
Yes.
And you guys have some similar connections because he's kind of from that area as well.
Well, yes, and that was a good connection. The former county mayor of Knox County made a point that when he knew I was moving to Williamson County, he says, make sure to look up my colleague there, which I did, but then found out that
that was
Mayor
his old stomping
Anderson,
ground.
was from Knoxville originally. So yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Well, we are glad to have you here.
I'm thrilled.
And I
to
know
be
that
here.
you and Denise are going to be a fabulous team together. So
We're
Well, I can't
excited.
thank
We're
her
excited.
She's teaching me.
We're learning together.
You're learning together, yes. Okay. Well, what we're going to try to do is talk about what parents need to know
Sure.
as we head back to school. And, you know, the work never stops at the central office level and for you guys. I don't know that you've had much of a break at all this summer as we've gotten prepared for the new school year. Part of that work is filling positions, whether it be teaching positions, principal positions, assistant principal positions, and all. let's talk first off about the process that we go through here in Williamson County to find the best and brightest teachers and administrators. Because I know you guys have worked, Donna, not so much yet because you just got here, but I know Denise has been working on filling those principal.
She's mentoring me.
Principal positions. So you get to start, Denise.
We'll start with teachers.
Okay.
Okay. Williamson County's reputation allows for us to have a wonderful pool, and we seem to attract the best and the brightest. So it's our job to filter through those, look for that, give that opportunity to our administrators to find the best fit for their building. So we look for teachers with passion. We look for elementary specifically, and I think across the board, for heart for what they're doing, and that can build relationships with students, that they have content knowledge, and that they're dedicated to the mission and goals and that aligns with their school and the district. So again, because the pool is so nice and large, we can be selective, and we get the very best. We do, and it's been evident that we have the best as this district just continues to do good things for boys and girls.
And I've heard both of you say the same thing. You talked about being student focused, and I heard Donna say, you know, I think Dr. Looney asked you a question, and you replied with, well, what's the best thing for the student? And
That's how I think.
Yep.
And I've heard you both say that, so
Yes.
you guys are both on the same page. So we've had quite a few changes at the principal level, district-wide. Probably more at elementary, I would say, than at middle and high school. So you want to talk about some of that? We've had several retirements.
Yes, we did.
And then folks moving on.
Yes,
So.
I think it's just the nature of the beast. We're going to always be looking, and there'll always be changes. We have 4 new administrators in the elementary groups, 24 elementary schools.
Right.
We have a new principal at Sunset Elementary after the retirement of Miss Jacobs. We are looking at new principals at Perry Creek.
No, wait. If I challenge you by having you say everybody's name.
Oh, you don't think I can do that?
Can you do it, is the question.
I think I can, but help me.
Okay.
Both of you.
So let's start at Sunset Elementary.
Okay. We have a new principal.
Karen Caldwell.
Karen Caldwell came to Sunset. Her former position was AP at Hunters Bend, and we're excited about that team there. New administrator. We have a new administrator at Perry Creek, Stephanie Chatham.
She probably came the longest way.
Yes, the Bahamas. Yes.
Oh,
yes. We're excited about her joining the team at Perry Creek. We also have a new administrator at Scales, Molly Dahlgren. Yes, and we're excited about Molly. She comes to us from Ohio. Both of those ladies are experienced administrators, so we were fortunate to find them. And then we just announced a new administrator for Chapman's Retreat, and that's Carol Garrett. And Carol's role prior to that was AP, assistant principal at Nolensville Elementary. So we're excited to add her to the team. We have a very strong administrative team for the 24 elementary schools.
And so we hired some from within, some without the from outside the district, which leaves assistant principal positions then to also be filled.
Yes.
Before we get to middle and high school, Donna, let's talk about, we have a leadership program.
We do.
Where we try to grow administrators from within. Can you briefly talk about that?
Absolutely. Coming to my position, this new position, that's one of my goals is, along with curriculum department, Lorette Carl heads up that, is to grow from within. The challenge is, again, like the teacher application pool, when there's an opening for an administrator, we get lots.
The cream of the crop.
We do. And so the goal is, though, that we continue to grow our own, both from the AP pool and the leadership academy that we run for aspiring leaders that's coming up from the teacher ranks. We want to look at everybody. Ultimately, the goal is the best fit. What are we looking for? 24 schools, 24 different communities, unique communities.
I always say each school has its own personality.
Donna and I have talked about that already, and we recognize that. And so, along with the staff and the administration that's there, whether they're leaving us or we have some insights, we try to do best fits. And that's important. The same thing the principals do in their buildings, looking at teachers, best fits. So personality, culture, all that does take place. But again, we like hiring from within when we
Mm-hmm.
can, and that's a goal. It is a goal.
I think that's a real strength for Williamson County. And again, the new person looking in, again, as far as tapping and identifying that talent, also that's a good retention piece as well.
Absolutely.
That's unique.
Okay, now here's your big challenge. You've only been on the job a few weeks.
Okay.
So, can you tell me who the new people are in leadership positions at the middle and high schools?
Well, what a challenge. I'm here, girl, go.
Fairview High School,
Uh-huh.
newly minted Dr. Julie Euler.
Good,
Doesn't pronounce
yes.
her last
Oh,
name?
you're, yes. And she
Euler.
came from Independence High
High
School.
School.
Mhm.
And then looking at the domino effect, Fairview Middle,
Yes,
Gary Schrader.
yes. Who was the assistant
Assistant
principal at Fairview Middle, who's
Under-
moved up to principal.
Dr. Brian Bass,
Yes.
who now is the new principal at Middle College.
You are good.
And then if I remember correctly, last name's Taylor, moved from Centennial to
Marlena
Marlena
Gross Taylor moved from Centennial to Heritage Middle School.
And-
I think she's a keeper, Denise.
Absolutely.
Do we have any more
Absolutely.
names?
I think
Did
you're
I hit
good.
it?
You did it.
Oh.
Yay.
Yeah, just
Celebrate.
don't ask us to backfill the APs, okay? We did pretty good here.
I will not do that to you all. Oh, now, I don't even know if you know this at this point, because our enrollment numbers, folks are, I know we are fielding phone calls.
Yes.
And folks are moving into schools. They're getting their children registered. We
Yes.
want them to do that early.
Yes.
Early, so that we can make sure we get the best and the
Right.
brightest teachers. But talk about how many positions we are filling across the district, if you can, in broad terms.
Sure. We're in a pretty good shape. A few weeks back, we were a little under enrollment. We did some call outs with
Yes,
your
we
help,
did.
and we started beating the bushes to let parents know that each school's staffing is dependent upon enrollment. So when neighbors see new people come in, they need to say, have you registered? Have you registered? Right now, we are just about 300 students off, and I know that sounds like a lot, but off our projections, I think that's pretty good, and I think we're going to close that gap even more in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, sure.
So we feel certain that we'll hire all that's needed, and then we're just hoping that we don't have an overflow here.
Right,
You know, but
right.
people are moving back. The economy in Williamson County is great, as the mayor mentioned,
Yes.
and people are coming back in droves and with children, and that's exciting.
You know, we did a program with Susan Parker, who does our enrollment
Right.
projections, and she said that last year she was off by 2 students.
She's fabulous.
amazing, isn't it?
This county does a good job with projections, and like I said, I think we're going to hit it.
Yeah.
And then some.
Well, and you know, a lot of people don't get here until Labor Day.
Right.
If they are moving from the northeast, they don't
That's
start school, and
correct.
so they don't get here till Labor Day. So we want to encourage those folks to go ahead and enroll. But we typically bring in a couple hundred teachers because
Oh,
we have people leave
yes.
retirements and stuff. So we're retraining, we're hiring, what, 200-300 new
Yes,
people?
I think 200, somewhere
Yeah,
around that,
yeah.
and new teacher
and
induction.
that's normal really for us. And then
Right.
with our
Right.
growth positions as
Absolutely.
well.
And
so.
some of the schools have exceeded the projections just in the last 2
Yes,
days, and so we've
yes.
had to make that adjustment.
Right.
But what a compliment to the district that people are seeking, this district to send their children to school.
We always say you get a great bang for your buck here.
Absolutely.
do.
Because our property taxes are lower and the value of education that you get is fabulous.
And then
So,
I think that goes back and speaks to the quality of teachers and administrators we have, and our parents
Oh,
value
Fabulous.
education.
And it doesn't happen by accident.
No, it doesn't.
it does not. Fabulous, yes. All right. Now, a couple of changes coming up for this school year. And Donna, I won't put you too much on the spot, but at the middle school level, we are starting late start days. We've had them in place at the high school level,
Right.
and that happens on Mondays. But now the middle school principal said, hey, we need that too.
Yeah. In fact, last week, and I think it was my 3rd or 4th day on the job, an invitation by the middle school principals to sit down and talk with them as far as what it would look like, because the big thing, particularly for middle school, was looking at the logistics. And we spent about 2 hours really talking about, again, the personality of the school, making sure that they were meeting the needs of the community, and also talking about their youngsters as far as that, how that would work, because the thing that they wanted to be really sure and very definitive about, that they wouldn't be compromising instructional time.
Sure.
And which again, that was such a tribute to them that was first and foremost, but also making sure that they were growing their teachers, because again, we're talking about very focused, very deliberate professional development that takes place within the school building, and which is the premise behind what they're calling Power Mondays,
Right.
which I love. I mean, that says so much. So I was not only impressed, but really pleased to how much discussion and how much detail they were making sure that was going to be in place before it was launched, and that the agreement that this is what it will look like. However, also have the flexibility to meet the needs, not their community and the parents, the students, and then most of all their teachers, because they're the ones that would have to be making that happen.
Right. And so the bell times have changed a little bit for some middle and high school. So folks need to go on the website, take a look at those bell times. Things have moved around, maybe 5-7 minutes, depending on
the
where
average
they
was
are.
about 5 minutes.
But the bus routes will remain the same for middle and high schools. The buses are still going to run at the same time. Your school start times may change a little bit. Now, we don't do that, Denise, at the elementary school level because
Yeah, we're studying it, and the principals and the teachers would love to have that PD time as well. Fortunately, for how elementaries are structured, they do get common planning time.
Right.
But that's not really professional development. It is teams of teachers working together to ensure that they're delivering the curriculum fairly and equally, and that everybody's on board at the same time per grade level. We will look at trying to find some PD time for our teachers, and the curriculum department does a good job with helping us with that.
they do.
Especially, with the new Common Core coming. Our coaches are in our buildings now helping teacher build capacity to help students learn.
All right, you brought up Common Core.
Okay.
Give me a definition, because that's a term that these educators start throwing around. So
Yeah.
what is Common Core in 3 words or less? No, I'm kidding.
Okay. I hope I get the right numbers of states that are doing it. It's somewhere around
40-something.
47,
Yeah.
48 states
Yeah.
have agreed on a set of standards, Common Core standards for the content areas, and we're all going to address it equally across those states in trying to ensure equity of learning for the boys and girls in the United States.
Is
Did
it-
I say that right?
You did. It's a national standards based.
Movement,
Yes.
So we're teaching the same stuff?
We are.
And we'll be assessed with the same stuff. I mean, it
yeah.
won't be the thing as far as looking at Tennessee differently than the rest of the country, because there'll be a consistency in expectations.
Yes.
I think folks will like that.
I think they will. Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about assessments.
Okay.
We seem to do that.
A
We
lot.
like to assess. like to assess. Apparently, it's paying off because we
this
know
district.
that our scores are pretty good.
Pretty good.
So that must be part of it. Talk about, though, when parents hear the term assessment, what does that look like at different levels?
Okay.
We'll make you start again,
Okay,
Denise.
that's fine. That's fine. I know the jargon that educators use sometimes is really hard. We do formative and we do summative assessments. We do pre-assessments, and then our district is also benchmarking our students' progress as it aligns to our scope and sequence. Our curriculum department has done a really good job getting us a pacing guide, a curriculum guide for all of us to use. So the assessments are embedded within that, and we're just trying to monitor so that teachers can know where their students are, know where they need to go, and then help individual students along the way that aren't on pace, so we can reteach, reassess, but keep moving and, to cover the curriculum that everybody's required within a year to try to cover. It's both about meeting standards and providing growth opportunities for those students.
And so when a parent looks at that benchmark test, because they'll be able to see those.
Yes.
Now, we'll talk about the parent portal in just a minute.
Yes.
It doesn't count for a grade. We're so used to everything
Right.
being a grade.
Yes, no.
It does not.
It does not.
It's really just for teachers.
That's that formative assessment to help the teachers tweak their instruction based on student need. What did I not quite cover or they not quite get? It's on me. Let me go back and see how I can help. So it's formative.
Yeah. And the thing about that's so good, and again, as someone that's new to the district, but also and part of that, that's a conversation that's taking place. We need to take the negative connotation out of assessment, because everyone sees it as a punitive measure, because we're always looking at the autopsy as opposed to looking at what we can do. Really, it's a pulse point.
It is.
Yeah.
It's preventative.
It's preventative, and it's the idea it becomes more personalized, looking at what children need to know at this point in time. And sometimes it's just, it might be a gap.
That's right.
And the elementary schools probably do it better than anyone as far as really checking to see where children are, so that it's a matter of what we need to go back and reteach. And again, it's not punitive. It's not. It's how we can grow our kids.
Right. I think Donna's point is well taken. It's checks for understandings, and then moving that or helping them get there. And it's all about individualized learning these days, and it's important.
It is,
It
because
is.
everybody learns differently.
And it has really helped our district, I believe, the benchmarking.
And as I've been watching Williamson County for a long time, you do it well here.
Well, and you're part of the team.
I know
now.
it. I can change that pronoun now. So.
You can change your pronoun.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we talked about parent portal. That's a huge, huge, huge thing.
It is.
I'm all about parental involvement and folks knowing what's going on with their child. So, the term last year was Parent Connection. So the term this year is Parent Portal, because it's bigger and better and more info for parents to have. If you are, I'm going back to you, Denise.
Okay.
If you're comfortable talking about what parents are going to be able to see and such with this tool, if you would.
Sure. They're going to be able to see the progress of their child through daily grades that are, or however the teacher sets it up.
Right.
They can keep track by going on this portal and just viewing it. They also have some rights to say, I want to set a trigger.
Right.
Should my child
Drop below
have a little
certain-
bump in the road that I need to be aware of. I don't want to know at the end, at the autopsy. I want to be like the teacher and know along the way. So parents can support their child's learning at home. They'll be able to do those kind of things. It is confidential, password protected, secure site for parents to view those kind of things.
In grades 3 through 12?
3 through 12.
Okay.
That's correct.
That's wonderful, though.
It really is. Now, when a parent goes in, we do ask parents to fill out a whole lot of paperwork here.
Yes, we do.
And so at the start of the school year, we fill out all the paperwork. When they get their packet or download the forms off the internet or however they're getting their paperwork, there is a form in there that parents will see.
Yes.
And they have to sign off to participate
Yes,
in the parent portal.
that's correct.
At that point, when that form is turned back into the school, then the school, I guess, grants permission, or you work out the password situation at that point. It's not going to be immediate. I think there's like a 2-week window in there for everything to get processed before then you can go on and view. Am I saying that correctly?
It is. There's some steps that the parents will have to follow on that agreement to participate. They'll have to do their part first and submit the form back to the school. The school reviews it and then grants permission, clicks a few buttons, and everybody can, can go on and see.
Right. And so, like I've been doing Parent Connection for years now.
Right.
And so it's my understanding my password and everything will stay the same. It's just going through that process again, making sure that parents are agreeing to participate.
That's correct.
So I think the target date was August the 24th for being able to access your child's information.
Correct.
So very, very important.
That helped me.
We were talking before we began taping about the importance of parental involvement.
Yes.
So key.
Yes.
Not just at the elementary school level.
No.
But Donna, at the middle and high school level, it's huge.
And parents really get involved when their children are small, they're little in elementary school, and everyone enjoys that time. And parents start, I don't want to say they disengage, but they start backing up because they get the impression that their children do not want them there, and particularly in high school. But that's not the case. And as an old high school principal, kids are hungry for their parents to be there, and you can always see that nod, that acknowledgement if they're there, watching, seeing, whatever it might be. And and I'll have parents tell me, "But I don't want to embarrass them." Embarrass them, they get over it. They really do. That's just that teenage angst, and particularly for middle school kids, they want that parent there. And we know that everyone's really starved for time, but even if they can carve out a little bit, it means so much. It doesn't matter how old they are.
And our schools appreciate the volunteers.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Our coaches, being involved in those extracurriculars, we appreciate that involvement there
Yes.
as well. So I guess the challenge for parents this year is get involved.
Yes, I have to say this, as an elementary principal, you have them for 6 years, and so they're like yours. When they leave as 5th graders, and I have an opportunity to talk to the parents, I always said to them, you only thought you spent a lot of time with them. Increase that by 3-fold now, because they need you more than ever when they hit the middle school and high school years. And while they may push back, parents have to stay consistent and be involved in their life, volunteer in the school, and support their child's learning. The middle school and high school years are difficult years, and I think it's so important that our parents are involved.
And know what's going on.
And know what's going on.
And there are ways to do that.
Absolutely.
Through the parent portal. And by being involved,
Right.
showing up at school, showing up at extracurriculars, getting in there and helping build a set for the drama production, or
Right.
selling tickets or
And
working the
encourage their
concession.
kids to be involved in something.
I wanted you to talk about that. How important how important are extracurricular activities at the middle and high school?
For many kids, it might be their one reason that school becomes so important, because it really gets not only the involvement, but the relationships, that finding something that they are successful, feel good about. And there's such a variety of opportunities in Williamson County District that there's something for every child, but it's getting involved. It doesn't always have to be sports, because when we say extracurricular, everyone always gravitates and thinks, oh, but I'm not athletic, and I'm certainly, my child might not. Encourage, because it's all about involvement and building those special relationships. And I mean, whether it's a club, whether it's that extracurricular, whether it's the athletics, whatever it might be, and they really need to be involved and encourage them.
Students build those relationships with the teachers as
Yes,
well.
yes.
So you got, student to student, the student to the teacher, and it really, when you're involved in those extracurricular activities, that coach, that teacher can really mentor that child. You have more time than just in that classroom
And
setting.
it supports that academic side, because we know that, again, when you bring that with the joy of whatever it might be, it really helps guide and support that youngster in their academic career.
Okay. We are just about out of time.
Oh.
You have 5 seconds to
summarize?
to give your one thought out for parents. What do you want parents to know or challenge parents to do this year?
I want them to be involved. I want them to be a part of the team. It takes teamwork, and I think it's important that they're involved. Elementary, I believe, does a really good job with communication. Our teachers are on it. It's easy, and parents are open to that, and they need to be involved at all levels. Volunteer, get your child to school on time, ask how you can support the teacher. They want to do a good job for the children. The principals want to do a good job for the district and their students, and it takes parent involvement, truly. We have open door policies at our school for parents to come and volunteer, and then our organizations, our PTOs or PTAs or PTSOs. Yes.
At the high school level.
We need them joining and partnering with us to do the best we can for students, because as Dr. Wright and I know, it's all about what's doing best for students.
Okay. You literally do have 5 seconds left, Donna.
5 seconds. I will echo what Denise has shared here, but I would also say that don't accept that when you have that conversation with your child as far as what did you learn today, be very, well, tell me exactly what you learned today, because it might even be meeting a new friend or whatever it might be, but engage them in conversation, have them share their day.
All right, great.
Very good. Ladies, thank you. Wealth of information between you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, our pleasure.
Thank you for joining us for Education 101.